Right now, I want to welcome to the program Bob Heyer of the Brian Terry Foundation. Bob, thank you so much, sir, for coming on the program this evening.
Hi, Cam. Good to be here.
Thank you. All right, so I've got to ask. I saw the release from the Brian Terry Foundation yesterday praising the U.S. Attorney's efforts to go after the killers of Brian Terry. What is the family's response to yesterday's news, the $1 million reward, as well as the unsealing of the indictments?
Well, we're very pleased. It's been a long 18 months, and would we have liked this to happen earlier? Absolutely. But you know what? This is justice moving forward, and that's been our number one priority. The apprehension, the arrest, extradition, and successful prosecution of all the individuals involved in Brian's murder. So it's going to be a long road, but this is the first step.
Absolutely. You know, we had just some basic questions about this case. I wonder if we could get into those. Joshua in Ohio, for instance, asked, the records were unsealed. Why were they sealed in the first place? What was the reason why the records were sealed?
Well, I think because this was an ongoing investigation and has been since the early morning hours of December 15th, 2010, when Brian when Brian died. It is an ongoing investigation, as I understand it, and we've been kept up to date by the U.S. Attorney's Office in San Diego. Laura Duffy, the U.S. Attorney, and her team have done a pretty good job, even flying to Flat Rock, Michigan, and Jonesville, Michigan, where Brian's parents live, and briefing the family on the status of the investigation.
The other component of this, obviously, is the investigation into Fast and Furious. And I know that the Terry family would still, and still does believe that these documents should be released, correct?
Absolutely. And I don't think it's limited to the Terry family. I think most Americans believe that this information should be turned over to congressional investigators. It's that system of checks and balances that this nation, was based on. It makes our system stronger. And, obviously, the family wants to know how almost 2,000 weapons, assault weapons, flowed to the most dangerous criminals in North America. And the men that killed Brian that night on December 14th going into the 15th were carrying at least two of those weapons. So absolutely, we intend to continue to press for answers there.
When you think about how the Attorney General's response has been, again, I know you praised the U.S. Attorney and the work that she's done in going after Agent Terry's killers, but we've seen this disconnect. I think at the top of DOJ with the Attorney General continuing to insist that nothing untoward happened. That there's no reason to turn over these documents, even though apparently they would exonerate him. At what kind of damage do you believe is being done here to the the Terry family, the trust that we have in our government by the actions of the Attorney General?
Well, I can speak for the family. It's been very, very frustrating, and at times that frustration has turned into consternation and anger. And, we are adamant that this should not be about partisan politics. This is an issue of right and wrong. Everybody acknowledges Operation Fast and Furious was wrong. And, it should be getting answers and making sure that this never happens again. It's not. I don't think that just by saying the flawed tactics have been stopped is enough. The family spoke in front of Congress 12 months ago, last summer, and they said, hey, we want justice and we want accountability with respect to Operation Fast and Furious. And that's what we continue to press for.
Well, Bob, again, we really appreciate you coming on the program tonight, and hopefully we can have you on again. Let's talk a little bit before we let you go about the Brian Terry Foundation. What is the mission of the foundation?
Well, we rolled that out a few weeks ago, and it's been established to honor the memory of Brian and to create a living legacy in his name. We're going to honor Brian Brian's work ethic, his love of country, his love of the Border Patrol and his fellow agents by doing good things. We intend to provide emotional and financial assistance to the families of Border Patrol agents who have been killed in the line of duty. We're going to establish educational scholarship for kids like Brian who wanted to be law enforcement professionals and go study criminal justice. We want to promote a message of justice, responsibility, and accountability within all levels of federal government. And we seek to continue to raise awareness with the American public on all issues facing Border Patrol agents and other issues relevant to border security initiatives.
Well, Bob, where can folks find out more about the foundation and the work that it's doing?
Cam, they can go to honorbrianterry.com, and we've got a number of resources there to include the Never Again petition that they can go on and sign, and hopefully put enough pressure on our representatives in Washington to ensure that the answers are brought forward and something like Fast and Furious doesn't result in another American hero being killed.
Thank you so much, Bob, for all that you do, and again, look forward to having you back on again very soon, sir.
Take care, Cam.
Bob Heyer joining us from the Brian Terry Foundation.